Okay, so example 1. Find the side marked with the pronumeral in each triangle. Give the answer in exact form if possible, or else correct to 5 significant figures. Okay, so immediately what you should notice is that we have 30 degrees on one of the triangles. Okay, so we're automatically thinking, okay, we can use an exact value for that one. But you will also notice that on the second triangle, we actually have a value that's not one of our exact values, or an angle that's not one of our exact values, okay? So for that one, we'll have to use a calculator for. But let's solve these as is. So part A, we're going to find the side marked with the pronumeral in each of these triangles. So we're going to leave this one in exact form. Okay, we've got 30 degrees. So think quickly back. Okay, 30 degrees. So one of our exact values, so 30, 45, 60. Okay, it's one of those three. All right. So we're going to be using an exact value somewhere. Now we're trying to find what x is. So we need to work out which of the 6 trigonometric ratios we're going to use. Okay, we'll only focus on the 3 main ones, but you can use the other 3 as well if you need. So looking at this one, we've got an adjacent, okay, because it's next to, or it's on where the angle is. It's not the opposite, okay, it's not over here, it's not that one, no. And we've also got the hypotenuse as well, okay. So adjacent and the hypotenuse tells me that we have cos of 30 degrees, okay, and that is equal to, so adjacent on hypotenuse, it's x on 5, okay. So what we're trying to do in a question like this is we are trying to isolate what is the value, or what's the variable, what is that value of x, okay. So to do so, I need to remove this 5 from this side here, and to do so, I'm just going to multiply both sides by 5. So if I times by 5, times by 5, that leaves us with 5. Oh, that's a really big pen. That leaves us with 5 times cos 30 degrees is equal to x, okay? So x is equal to 5 times cos of 30 degrees. Now, this is where we need to go back and think about, well, what is the exact value of cos of 30 degrees, okay? So cos of 30 degrees, so going back to our video, we'll try to remember really quickly, is root 3 on 2. So it turns out my value for x is just equal to, so remember, 5 is the same as 5 on 1, times the tops, 5 root 3 on 1 times 2, which is 2. And that's, whoop, please disappear. Why have you appeared all of a sudden? Go away. And that leaves us with x is equal to 5 root 3 on 2. And that's the exact value for that one. Because we have an exact value in our problem, we can do it. And see how, even though this triangle is not one with a 2 on the side, it's actually got a 5, okay? It can still give us the same ratio, still gives us the same value of this triangle, okay? But you're not always going to be given something that you can change because you know what the exact value is, okay? For example, 70 degrees, well, we don't actually know what 70 degrees are. So we're going to be using our calculator. So we can still start off by using our ratio though, okay? So at the top of my page, you should have SOHCAHTOA, okay? Just to remind ourselves, opposite hypotenuse, adjacent hypotenuse, opposite adjacent, okay? To use, remember which ones we're going to use. So using the 70 degrees, I've got an opposite, and I've got a hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle, okay? So opposite and hypotenuse, OH. OH means S. S means sine. So sine of 70 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is 15 over y. Okay, now you'll notice the difference between the first one and the second one is now we've got the pronumeral on the bottom instead of on the top. So when the pronumeral's on the bottom, all we need to do is just switch the y and the sine 70 degrees around, okay? Now the algebra behind this is that you multiply both sides by y, then divide both sides by sine 70 degrees, but, you know, we can just swap them around because we understand that it's the exact same thing. Now for this one, we are going to have to use our calculator, and it asks us to round it to 5 significant figures. So 15 over sine 70, and make sure you hit your degree button. Okay, so sine 70 degree, and you should get an answer that says 15.963. Correct. 25. That was an easy one because there was no zeros. So correct to 5 significant figures. Now, it's not uncommon for a question like this to actually ask you for 5 significant figures. It does sound like a lot, but it's only 3 decimal places in the end. But 5 significant figures, pretty standard for trig, because we do kind of want that sort of exactness about our answers when we do it, okay? So with that being said, that's the first example done, and we will be having a look at how to solve or find a missing angle in our next one.